Y&R Spoilers reveal the identity of Dumas is heating up the Y&R storyline. The audience is really curious, who is he that has such influence? Where secrets, forbidden kisses and the return of familiar faces will push everything into an unpredictable spiral. As the atmosphere between Lily Winters and Damian Kane has become increasingly tense in recent days, it is also the time when fans cannot stop talking about what is really going on behind the scenes. Not only is the appearance of Aristotle Dumas a new name but hidden in many layers of the past, but also the increasing number of clues showing that Dumas may be none other than Cane Ashby, the man who once played an extremely important role in Lily's life. As time goes on, the truth seems to be revealed through the smallest details. The way Dumas looks at Lily with a deep gaze that contains something both strange and familiar, or Lily's emotional reactions every time Damian mentions old memories. Seemingly harmless conversations continuously open up new layers of meaning, causing even the most experienced observers to question Dumas' true purpose in Genoa City. In particular, the possibility of Billy Flynn taking on the role of Dumas further heightens curiosity and suspicion. People begin to talk about the possibility that Dumas is carrying out a double mission, both hiding his true identity and approaching Lily with an undisclosed purpose. Amidst all these doubts, Lily Winters seems to be caught up in a complex emotional vortex that she cannot control. Damian Kane, with his mysterious charm, both makes Lily feel safe and creates an irresistible attraction. Their relationship developed faster than either of them had expected. But what they didn't know was that every action, every little gesture, was being observed and analyzed by Dumas. For Dumas or Kane, if the hypotheses were correct, the kiss between Damian and Lily was not just a love affair, but also a betrayal, a blow to the past and a deeply wounded pride. Therefore, if Damian were to let himself be carried away by his emotions and give Lily that forbidden kiss, something that his boss, Dumas/Kane, considered an uncrossable line, the consequences would be extremely serious. Not only would he be fired from the company or face occupational hazards, Damian could have to pay a much higher price, because Dumas was the type of person who never gave up, especially when it came to Lily. In the worst case, Damian could become an outcast in the very place he once believed was his refuge, even being forced to leave town in humiliation and regret. The storm continues to rise as Dumas/Kane becomes more and more determined to control every situation related to Lily and Damian. Damian's plans, whether work or personal, are placed under strict supervision, while he himself is completely unaware of the traps that are set before him. Lily's psychology becomes increasingly chaotic as memories of Kane suddenly revive through Dumas's every glance and every hidden word. Every time Damian appears by her side, she feels both protected and insecure, worried about something that cannot be named. As for Dumas/Kane, the pain of seeing the woman he once loved so dearly drift away from his arms and fall into the arms of another man is an unquenchable obsession. And then, the climax of this chain of events will certainly come when all the secrets are exposed. If Damian foolishly betrays Dumas' trust, not only with a kiss, but also a deeper relationship with Lily, then Dumas' revenge will be extremely cruel and methodical. Dumas can not only destroy Damian's career and reputation, but also make him a hated person, losing everything he has worked so hard to build. The community in Genoa City is known for its harshness, and they certainly will not forgive anyone who dares to break the moral standards they set. Meanwhile, Lily will also have to face internal conflicts that are not easy to resolve. The choice between the past and the present, between the memories of Kane and the unhealed pain on one side and the new and adventurous attraction of Damian on the other, will push Lily into a state of extreme confusion. She understands that any choice will have serious consequences, not only for herself, but also for those around her. If Lily chooses Damian, she risks losing everything she has built, from her career to her reputation in the eyes of her friends and family. On the contrary, if she continues to avoid her emotions, suppressing herself to protect the past, it also means losing the chance for true happiness. And then, like a domino effect, the actions and choices of the trio Dumas/Kane, Lily, Damian will affect a series of other characters in the city. Fans can completely expect tense confrontations, hidden revenge, temporary alliances, or even the appearance of new characters from Kane's past. Not to mention, Dumas's true identity can completely upset the balance of power in Genoa City, opening up a series of new wars in both business and love. And in the middle of all that, Lily will be the center of the storm, both the most damaged person and the character capable of changing the entire situation with just one choice. In the coming weeks, the young and the restless viewers will surely witness unexpected developments, heartbreaking moments when the past violently collides with the present, when long-buried secrets are finally brought to light, leading to unforeseen consequences. A forbidden kiss, an unsuccessful attempt at reunion, an outcast in a foreign land. All are signs that Genoa City is about to experience a real earthquake, where nothing is safe and all rules can be broken in an instant. In the tense atmosphere surrounding the Chancellor, the mysterious appearance of Aristotle Dumas gradually ignited the hidden waves that had long since subsided in Lily Winter's heart. With each passing day, Dumas' intervention became more and more obvious, especially when he invited Amanda Sinclair to return to work with him, as a way to affirm his determination to dominate the Chancellor and expand his personal power. This decision not only shocked the entire leadership, but also immediately created far-reaching chain effects, especially for Lily, who always placed absolute trust in the loyalty and transparency of each close colleague. Amanda, with her sharp mind and keen observation, quickly realized that Lily was not only a business target but also the center of all Dumas's silent calculations. The half-joking, half-serious words and meaningful glances that Amanda gave everyone in the meeting room, every time she mentioned Lily, seemed to implicitly emphasize her special role in Dumas's eyes. That made the atmosphere even heavier, when everyone began to question the real reason behind the decision to favor Amanda and the reason why Dumas put so much effort into Chancellor, instead of other attractive deals out there. All those suggestions, like small needles, gradually pierced the shell of confidence that Lily had built up for so long, sowing in her heart doubts and worries that could not be named. Lily understood better than anyone that what she had today was the result of so much effort, sacrifice and effort to overcome all the losses of the past, especially when it came to Cane Ashby, the man who had been an inseparable part of her heart. That's why, as rumors about Dumas' true identity spread, Lily couldn't help but feel uneasy, even though she tried to maintain a calm and professional appearance. There was something about Dumas, from the way he looked at her, the way he always defended her decisions in front of the board of directors, to the short but meaningful conversations when they were alone, that made Lily both scared and strangely attracted. Amanda's return under Dumas's command made things even more confusing. Amanda was not only a talented ally, but also a mirror reflecting every hidden corner of Lily's soul, always knowing how to evoke, analyze, and emphasize the smallest details to help Lily realize the truth hidden deep under the surface of complex conspiracies. Amanda herself couldn't help but wonder about Dumas' ultimate goal, especially when witnessing the special attention he paid to Lily. At times, Amanda seemed to be hinting to Lily that she was the reason for all the recent strange moves, that she needed to be more alert, more vigilant if she didn't want things to get out of control. If Amanda's suspicions and many others were correct, and Dumas was actually just Cane Ashby under a new cover, then it was clear that everything he was doing was for the ultimate purpose of finding a chance to reunite with Lily. Perhaps, after years of wandering, experiencing a series of unknown events, Kane had never truly forgotten Lily, always longing to be able to start over, correct his mistakes and bring her back to his side. However, the way Kane chose was the most dangerous path. He built a mysterious character, infiltrated Lily's life and work with a series of complex plots, put pressure on the Chancellor and caused all the trust that Lily had built up over time to gradually collapse before unclear calculations. Sadly, what Kane hoped for was exactly what caused Lily the most pain, anger, and confusion. Lily was no longer the weakling, no longer the naive girl who had been willing to forgive Kane for all his mistakes. After all, she had become strong, capable, knew her own worth, and put the interests of her family and the Chancellor first. When the first cracks began to appear in internal relationships, when the closest employees suddenly became hesitant, doubtful about their own safety as well as the future of the company, Lily understood that she could no longer turn a blind eye to the growing signs of instability around Dumas. The anxiety of being forced into a passive position, the fear of a possible recurrence of the past made Lily increasingly stressed and pressured. She began to strictly control all information, asking Amanda to provide detailed reports on every decision Dumas made, even personally reviewing the files and contracts she had signed recently. Every time she discovered an unusual detail, Lily felt more and more threatened, feeling like she was lost in the company she ran. The fitful sleep, the mornings when she woke up with a feeling of insecurity, all pushed Lily into a state of physical and mental exhaustion, while on the outside she still had to force herself to appear tough and strong in front of everyone. And then, the inevitable moment came, the truth about Dumas's identity was revealed. All the suspicions and warnings from Amanda and her colleagues were finally confirmed, when the man that Lily thought was a strange businessman was Cane Ashby. Her ex-husband, the one who had caused her so much pain and had also been the greatest source of comfort in her life. There was no more room for concealment, no more excuses. Dumas/Kane stood before Lily, revealing all her weaknesses, all her hopes for a slim chance of reunion. But instead of forgiveness or emotion, Lily felt like she had been betrayed once again. All the painful memories of the past suddenly came flooding back more violently than ever. Lily's anger was not only aimed at Kane but also the natural reaction of a woman who had grown up after so many events, no longer accepting anyone manipulating, controlling, or taking advantage of her for any reason, even if it was love. She was really angry, even screaming in the conference room, demanding Kane leave Chancellor, ending all contact and warning all associates to be absolutely loyal or else face the consequences. But behind that iron exterior, Lily silently endured a pain that was hard to name, the feeling of emptiness when knowing that everything she had built up over time could still be broken just because a man from the past refused to let go. Kane, for his part, faced a bitter failure both emotionally and honorably. He thought he could fix everything, could use plots and tricks to win back Lily's heart, but in the end he lost his last chance to be forgiven. Not only was he kicked out of Chancellor, Kane also had to face the coldness of those who once supported and trusted him, had to face himself and wonder if all his efforts were worth it or just a series of mistakes after mistakes. After all, that attempt at reunion not only backfired but also hurt Lily more deeply than any previous incident. She realized that, to protect herself and her loved ones, she had to completely cut all ties with the past, ready to face new challenges, even if it meant rebuilding everything from scratch. Chancellor was once again at risk of being torn apart, but this time, with the maturity and fortitude that had been trained through many storms, Lily knew that she would never fall again. And then, from the storm, a stronger Lily Winters would rise, leading the company and her life to a new page. A page without the shadow of old calculations, only faith in the future ahead. The world of Genoa City is once again shaken by intrigue, secrets, and unexpected twists. And this time, all the chaos revolves around the name Aristotle Dumas, a strange character who quickly becomes the center of attention. Since the day Dumas set foot in Chancellor, the already unstable atmosphere of both the company and the town has become even more dense with suspicion, fighting and a sense of insecurity that cannot be named. But deeper than all the business calculations or manipulations, Dumas also hides a terrible secret that can upset the inherent order of Genoa City. He is Cane Ashby, the man who was once closely associated with this city, now wearing a new mask to return in a more dangerous game than ever. The story becomes complicated and full of twists and turns when Dumas, with his sharp intelligence, cold composure, and extensive network of relationships, skillfully manipulates all of Chancellor's important decisions without anyone knowing. Under the cover of a mysterious businessman, he gradually takes over power, expands his influence, making many people wary and even suspicious of each other. Amanda Sinclair is invited to return to work for Dumas, causing further public uproar, especially when Dumas' every word and action focuses on Lily Winters, a woman who seemed to have closed the past with Kane, but is now suddenly caught up in a psychological game full of traps. This confusion not only shakes Chancellor, but also spreads throughout the entire Genoa City community. Rumors about Dumas' true identity begin to spread like wildfire. Many people whisper to each other about the possibility that Dumas is Kane returning to take revenge, reclaim what he lost, or even find a way to win back Lily's heart. With each passing day, the pressure on Lily increases, as her every decision is scrutinized, her close colleagues gradually become distant, and even her family members cannot avoid confusion and suspicion. Chancellor is no longer a safe place, but a battlefield between old and new forces, where any alliance can be betrayed in the blink of an eye. In another corner, Cane Ashby, under the guise of Dumas, has to face himself more than ever. He becomes an outcast, caught between personal goals and the pressure of the past. In Kane's heart, the memory of Lily still burns, along with the endless regret for the mistakes that cannot be corrected. He hoped that his return under a new look could give him a chance to start over, be accepted by everyone, and especially regain Lily's trust. But ironically, it was the power games that Kane created that made him increasingly distant from the community, away from the values he once pursued. The truth was gradually revealed, and the moment Dumas was exposed was also the moment Kane had to face an unprecedented wave of anger. Lily felt deeply betrayed, painfully realizing that all her efforts to preserve, all her achievements were threatened just because a man refused to let go of the past. Chancellor fell into a crisis of confidence, shareholders panicked, and close associates argued fiercely about who was truly worthy of leading the company through this storm. More importantly, Victor Newman, who had faced Kane many times in the business world, quickly realized that Dumas/Kane was not just an ordinary opponent, but also a great threat to his entire system of power. Victor was not someone who was easily fooled, he observed Dumas' every move with great vigilance. When the truth was revealed, Victor would not only be angry but also feel offended, considering Kane the most dangerous enemy he had ever met. From here on, Victor would be determined not to let anyone, even those who had changed their names and faces, threaten his position and influence in Genoa City. Victor's decisive and tough attitude made Kane's position even more precarious. No one stood by him anymore, all attempts to explain or apologize were mercilessly rejected. Kane became an outcast, not only in work but also in personal relationships. Those who once loved and respected him now turned their backs on him, seeing him as a symbol of deception, exploitation, and blind ambition. In meetings, the contemptuous, cold eyes of his colleagues became deep cuts into Kane's already cracked self-esteem. He was more alone than ever, struggling to find himself amidst a storm of criticism, betrayal, and disappointment. From that moment on, the Dumas/Kane plot entered a new chapter, full of drama and challenges. Kane was no longer a successful businessman or a beloved husband, but transformed into an abandoned person, having to fight every day to regain the little pieces of trust and respect he had lost. He faced new challenges, no one opened up, no one believed in change, all efforts, even the most sincere, were doubted and denied. Genoa City becomes a cold land for Kane, where he has to walk alone in the darkness of the past, facing all the mistakes he has made. However, it is in this adversity that Kane's courage and human values have the opportunity to be truly tested. Will he continue to fall, lock himself in regret and bitterness, or bravely face it, start over with honesty and courage? Will those who once loved him be tolerant enough to forgive, or will they forever close the door to Kane's return? Everything is still open, promising greater shocks and thrilling details that will continue to unfold, drawing the audience into the endless vortex of power, love, hatred, and redemption. Loyal viewers of The Young and the Restless should prepare for a tumultuous few weeks ahead, where secrets will be revealed, characters will be confronted, and the fate of Cane Ashby, once an indispensable part of the town, will be decided not only by the forgiveness of others, but also by the inner strength he can find in this very crisis. The journey from conqueror to pariah will be the cruelest and fairest test Genoa City has ever seen, ushering in a new era for a community that is never short of surprises, tragedies, and hopes for change.